Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I just wanted to take a minute to thank the Spin 360 members and the community around us. We have been inundated with people, either phone calls, messages in the door. A girl came and signed up by faith. She said, I know you'll be open in 30 days. You could probably use this right now. I've been wanting to join, and she came in and joined yesterday. She put everything through the door. I call her my miracle member, and it was very exciting to see. I've had personal training clients just come and drop off their training membership money and say thank you, and it's been awesome. The ideas with the renting bikes and all that, people are coming, picking up the bikes, so grateful for that, and we're making videos and sending them out to them. So really and truly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, because I know that as soon as this is over with, we will be here to serve the community right back. During this time, I really wanted to speak a minute about, while you're home in quarantine, it's a really good time to reflect on the life that we have and to recognize all that this is doing for our families and find the good in it. Like, look at your children. Are you having a great time with them? Are you doing things with them that you wouldn't do if you were busy getting them off to dance and practice and baseball and football, and families are coming and going all the time. And so at this time when you're home and you're with your family, recognize the good in that. Recognize the love that could develop right there. Recognize that maybe you're reaching out to neighbors more, asking them if they're okay. Some people don't even know the name of their neighbors on their block. So during this time, I think it's an amazing opportunity to work on your heart's desire. Like, have you always wanted to learn a new language? Have you always wanted to become a singer? Have you ever wanted to learn how to build a floral arrangement? All these people are offering these things online. You know what I mean? You can learn to play an instrument. Reach out to your local music center and ask them if you can do an online course. Find your linguist. I have a friend who's a Spanish teacher, and she's giving Spanish lessons online. I have a company who works on singing, and they're up the street from us, Tracy and John, and they are helping their clients that especially were already homeschooled to continue on with what they were learning by learning an instrument. Call your local stylist, your boutique center. We have a couple. We have one down the street from us, Yesenia, and we have Nikki with Fiorina up the street. Ask her about those jean placement, and so when this is all done, you can wear your cute jeans and comfortable clothes right now. If you're going to be buying things from the big retail stores, not to knock them out, but think of the local people. Maybe you want a new sweatsuit, you want to feel good, and you want to show your husband that you're not going to wear those same sweats every single day, and reach out to your local boutique center and purchase something comfortable from them. If you wanted to learn how to be a chef, call your local restaurant and ask them if they have an online chef class. Reach out, be creative during this time. It could be really fun. You might be able to learn that language that you always wanted to learn. And then I always tell my clients when they're dieting to keep a journal. One, I like them to write down what they're doing because it works as a Bible for them when they want to come back and see what weeks they did really well with their diet. During this time, kind of journal what's going on around you. Not just the negative things. Look at the positive things. You're able to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with your children. You were able to learn that language that you wanted to learn. You were able to become that chef, learn that new recipe. I had all these ideas, and I wish I wrote them all down, because on the way here while I was driving, I thought, God, this is a good time for someone to learn a language. This is a great time for someone who really wanted to learn how to sing but couldn't hire a singing instructor because they didn't have time to go to the singing lessons. Maybe you have time now. You know what I mean? People are going to be discounting their services. So it's a great time if you to use that opportunity. Use these as opportunities and think of the blessing in it instead of the misery. And also, I had a good idea for kids. Oh, back to the journal really quick. I know I'm everywhere, but I have so much that I wanted to say in just a really short time so the video isn't too long. When you're journaling, journal your feelings. Journal how you're feeling. And then on the complete opposite page, write everything you're grateful for. And keep this journal throughout this whole time. And then a year from now, you could look at that journal and maybe you'll see a blessing that you would have never seen before. Maybe you'll see something that you would have never ever thought of because you were so busy you didn't have time to see it. That's just what I wanted to say about writing your thoughts down. I've always believed in that. I've always believed that's the way to conquer any problems in your eating plan. It always appears in the journal. I could always say, like, what are you doing there? It's that one little thing that might have taken them off course. You can do 6 things right and 1 thing wrong and it aborts the whole problem, plan because they didn't lose that 1 pound or whatever it was. So write it down. We have time now. Take the time, write it down. And then I had a really good idea. You're home with your kids, you're home with your families, you're homebound with your roommates or whoever it is that you are actually homebound with. And instead of watching Netflix all day, why don't you make a movie? Make a movie that shows your first responders how grateful you are that they're out there. Like our policeman, my brother Joseph is an LAPD officer. And he said it's so depressing. He goes to work every day risking his life of A, getting the virus, B, as people are quarantined to home, domestic violence rises. So he has to go and do these calls, and the calls are greater and greater as we become more confined and more trauma. But no one ever says thank you to them. Say thank you to them. Write a note. Sit down with your kids. Draw pictures. Make that movie. Send it to them. You know what I mean? Post those kind of things on Facebook. You know what I mean? We all know the stats. Be aware of what's going on, and then take that next minute to do something really positive in your children's life. This is a time that you can make a memory that they'll remember forever. They'll remember this forever. No one's going to forget this. You know what I mean? But during this time, it's a great time to make a great memory, something that they'll never forget on the positive side. It was so fun. Remember when we made that movie, Mom? Remember when, we were all quarantined to our house and everybody was walking around with masks? Remember we made that super fun, appreciative movie? Also, write messages. Everyone's walking right now in their neighborhood, so put a really beautiful message on your sidewalk with chalk. And then, let your kids participate in that message with you. A great message can go a long way. It might uplift someone. My daughter and I wrote a note to our neighbors just offering our services in case they were, they couldn't get out, in case they were one of the ones that are very susceptible. I'm using the words and I'm rushing, but anyway, you know what I mean. They needed someone to do grocery shopping or walk their dog or help them, if they had to go to a laundromat or whatever it was, that we would be, my daughter's a nurse, so she's already on that front line. We're asking them if they need help. And you know what? 3 people reached out right away. 2 needed us to do their grocery shopping, and it was really fun. We made it a great time. And then it made me think when I was there, I go, look at all these people that are in line to go to these stores. These grocery clerk workers, like my friend Des and my daughter Dominique, people are social distancing, worrying about themselves, and then they rush up to that grocery clerk asking them where a particular item is. So while you're doing that, think about what they're doing for you and actually give them a time to say thank you for what they're doing, okay? I know this is getting long, but these are all the things that I really wanted to get across because it was on my mind. And, I think it's a great time to focus in on not to worry. I wanted to leave you with that, not to worry. When you look at the birds and you see that they aren't worried about where they're going to eat, they aren't worried about that. So turn your worry, become a warrior for something great. Do something great. Don't stop hoarding. Stop worrying about where you're going to get that next roll of toilet paper that I don't understand what that's about, but that's for another time, okay? Don't forget to keep your journal. And more than ever, don't forget to be grateful for the time with your family, the time that you got to call these people that aren't getting any phone calls, okay? If you have any ideas, drop a note to me. Use your money that you were going to use for your family vacation, spring break, and maybe pass it along to the different restaurants in the area. Pick up to-go food. Learn that desire of your heart. Now's the time. God bless, and I love you and care about you, and thank you for everything that you're doing to help the community around us. We will get through this. I love you.